Welcome to the Living in the Zone podcast with your host, Jim Fannin. This is your front row seat into the minds of champions. As a master mental performance coach, Jim will pull back the curtain on the hidden strategies that drive peak performance in sports, in business, and in life. If you're an athlete, coach, entrepreneur, or just someone who's ready to level up mentally and step into your greatness, you're in the right place. Welcome to Living in the Zone.
Awesome day, Zoniacs. Welcome to the show. Please meet my co-host, Ryan Lidge.
Jim, great to be here. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of golf, some basketball, some baseball, but I know this will be a nice master show.
I'm looking forward to hearing what the executive coach has to say about that, because you've had those experiences with clients, and also executive coach, co-host, Caleb Clayton.
Jim, awesome day. And what an exciting Sunday golf we had. You can't ask for anything more when you get free golf on Sunday at Augusta. It was fire.
You know, I had someone ask me, what is a one-hole playoff at Augusta like? I said, Game 7 World Series, Super Bowl overtime. It's the same. It's one and the same.
It's the same, and it's just chock full of opportunity to choke or rise above it and be the best that you can be. I love it. This show is about stress. And I know everybody watching has stress, but you need stress. There's a good word for good stress. It's called eustress. E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. EU is the Greek word for good, euphoria, eureka. It's a big deal, good stress. Now, the Masters creates negative stress for the player that's not prepared to put on stress like an overcoat. You want stress if you're a baller, a player, NBA, MLB. It doesn't matter. That's what separates the good from the great, and how you handle those moments of truth. You know the moment of truth. You all have had that. You've had it on Sunday with your buddies playing skins. Moment of truth. The next putt picks up the money, or you lose all your money. The moment of truth. It doesn't last long, but it's there, and you got to execute the basics. So let's talk about Rory McIlroy. Yes, he put on the green jacket, but did he run us through the mental ringer to get to that green jacket at the Eisenhower cabin? Unbelievable. So here's what happened. He totally zones out. He's disciplined. He's full of concentration, he's got optimism, he's calm and cool, and he's loving the Masters because he loves Augusta. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he's in the hot seat, man. He's in the lead, 2-shot lead. Now imagine, I'm a 2-shot lead, and I'm going to bed. Good night, honey. This is not a normal good night. I'm freaking out. My mind's going 100 miles an hour. I got a 2-shot lead. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's bouncing around my brain. I know as a pro, I got to clear my mind of all this. If I don't, I could choke. Let's see what's happened. He wakes up the next morning, goes through his routines that he's done 1,000 times, and he chokes big time. Double. Now, the first hole is welcome to Augusta. I've walked up that hole 35 times, and over 100 times. Mm-hmm. It's a formidable opening hole. It's like a closing hole. And he chokes doubles. But you know what he said? It helped me. That actually relaxed me. There's a saying with our clients, sometimes you got to bleed and begin. Everybody goes, what? What is bleed? I don't want to bleed in golf. What is bleed and begin? Well, to get into a zone state, it usually happens when you get hit in the face. Okay. Or you throw a home run ball. You're a pitcher. Or you have a double on the first hole. It's a wake-up call. It says you better get disciplined, narrow your focus, get some optimism, cool out a little bit, and love the challenge. Success is getting up one more time from defeat. So Rory, he did that. It was masterful. In fact, a 6-foot putt, I believe, he pushes that 6-foot putt, it's over. He may not recover. DeChambeau birdied the next hole. He has a double, and then he barely makes a par putt, this could have been totally different. And then Bryson, well, he just went off the rails at the end. Yeah. But what happened to Rory under pressure?
And I think that's the key word is pressure. Everyone in sports uses pressure, but Jim, just knowing you, knowing the Masters in whatever craft, it could be business, baseball, World Series, golf at the Masters. Pressure, everyone talks, oh, there's so much pressure on this guy. He's never won it. He hasn't gotten the green jacket, or he's never won a major. He's got the Grand Slam on the line. But really, what is pressure? You're talking about stress, and then how do you, if I'm a golfer, if I'm a high school golfer right now, or I'm a parent of a golfer, how do I help my kid manage that pressure? What would you teach them?
When I'm going to sleep the night before a big event, maybe it's the first round, maybe it's the championship round coming up, the odds are my heart rate's going to be jacked up, even when I'm resting. But my breathing is going to go up with it. Once your breathing elevates with your heart rate, you're not going to be in a zone state. No. The zone is that unusual, purposeful calm where the heart rate is elevated, 180, 190, could go to 200, depending on the sport. But my breathing does the opposite. And that's the secret of the best pros in the world when the money's on the table. Their jaw's unhinged. Their breathing is between 6 and 8 breaths a minute, as opposed to 2022 when I'm freaking out and I made the double, or I made a triple, or I missed an easy 4-footer to take the lead, or I'm choking in the playoffs. All those things happen when you lose control of your breathing. And breathing is a superpower. Rory did not control his breathing every single hole. It was up and down. And if you love this guy and want him to win so badly, he took all of us on this roller coaster ride. And now, the moment of truth. Money's on the table. 18, 4-footer. Come on. He's made that putt thousands and thousands of times, but he's thought about it to win the green jacket. He's thought about not winning I'll never win the green jacket. Maybe it's not my time. Maybe it's just not meant to be. He's had those thoughts bouncing around his brain for a decade, and they surfaced at the wrong time, at the wrong place, in the wrong situation, in the wrong condition, and he blatantly choked. Now, Rose, on the other hand, he's locked in. He was out of it in the last day. Justin Rose was not going to win. He's out of it. But all of a sudden, the best way to win at the Masters is let him lose. That's the best way to win. And Rose now is in the catbird seat. He's leading. He's got a one-shot lead.
And he played incredible.
10 birdies on Sunday.
10 birdies. I mean, he was zoned out. And he went back to the range. He's practicing. And everybody was saying, why is he practicing? This is over. He should just forget about it, right? No, he was locked in, getting ready for the playoff. And when everybody was saying, that's stupid, you should just go congratulate Rory, right?
So I think for everyone watching, everyone understands why there's pressure on Rory in that situation. There's so much on the line, a Grand Slam, his life, his dreams on the line.
$4 million for the winner.
I want what's really on the line. What's inside pressure? What is it? I want your take on that, Jim. I want people listening back home to know if you could go into pressure and you could do surgery on it, what would you find inside it? Why is that 4-foot putt so much different than any other time?
Look at me. Look how I am right now. I've been thinking about that 4-foot putt since I've been 7 years old. Rory has thought about having a putt to win the Masters. Every young golfer that plays competitive golf, you thought about, there it is. Gals, you've been thinking about winning an LPGA major. I've helped somebody do that. It's a big deal. That's all you thought about from 7 to 17 to 27. Oh my gosh, my career's over, to 37. Everybody has seen that. But he's missed the opportunity over and over. He's got some residue. He's
Yes,
got
he
some
does.
demons back there talking to each other. We choked here, we choked there. They're talking to him, and the media's talking to him. So my advice is you got to clear your mind. You got to cocoon yourself with an inner circle of people that's not bringing up the past. Who cares about the past? I'm at the Masters. My goal is to be in the moment right now.
And Jim,
Now-
going back to your first component about that with pressure and the greats experiencing pressure, to some people, it seems like at the top of their level, it'd be Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the real greats. It seems like they view pressure as a privilege because you have to accomplish something great in order to have pressure. For example, not everybody in the field at Augusta this week had pressure. Let's say Sergio Garcia. He's probably out there. He's having fun. He's got his green jacket over 10 years ago.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. He's out there playing. But Rory, for that career Grand Slam, there's pressure there. But I think the greats are able to flip that mindset from that overwhelming component of, well, I'm under so much pressure, but I've had to done something great already in my career, in my vocation to have that pressure. You have to be at the top of the level in order to see, hey, this is a privilege to be here in this position.
Well, without stress, you won't go to that peak performance level. You won't play the best. You'll never shoot 54, 59, or even low 60s in a major without pressure. Pressure is awesome. I remember talking to Michael Jordan about pressure. He goes, the zone, pressure, I can put it on like an overcoat. So he actually bathed
He
in
wanted
a
it.
purposeful calm. But the key here is the purposeful calm. Everybody has the purpose part. I'm at the Masters. Put a white ball into 18 cups with the least amount of swings. But the calm part, that's the difficult. People wringing their hands, even his family. Even your family, uptight. You can pick up that vibe to make you uptight. So that inner circle that you sequester yourself between rounds at a master, they got to be calm and cool. They can't be going shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah. And I think he accomplished that. But when he failed on 18 by not putting the ball in play, and I've been on that tee box.
Drives it in the bunker.
That tee box is scary. You look like you're trying to thread a needle. You know, it's so small. But when you get out there, you're like, wow, it's bigger than I realize. It's not daunting when you're out there where it should land. But he's not in the fairway.
No.
And that's scary. Now he's going up the hill, and now he chokes. And now he's in playoff. But the one thing that helped him, he'd already done this. He already had a practice shot at 18, very fresh in his mind. He knew exactly what he needed to do. And I think at that point, he surrendered to the almighty subconscious mind. And once he surrendered and said, I'm just going to let it be, his intuition took over, knows exactly where he wants to be, how he wants to do it, and he hit a perfect tee shot on 18, perfect up the hill, misses it down the hill, makes it, wins.
And everyone is such a fan of Rory. I mean, they were chanting his name in Augusta, which is
they're pulling
great.
for
I
him
mean, it's
huge.
awesome.
And
this won't be the last time
and Rose
we
had
talk
a
about
moment of
pressure.
truth to tie it, but that was
On
a
8, yes.
that was a tough
Yeah.
putt.
Yeah.
And
lengthy.
But this won't be the last time we talk about pressure on this show. We're going to talk about it a lot, I know.
I think pressure is the number one reason that clients come to us. They have pressure in their business. They have pressure parenting their child, pressure in their job, their career. And every pro athlete has pressure executing their craft, especially when the money's on the table. And now let's go to one of my favorite subjects, Who's in the Zone, our next segment. Who's in the Zone? Ryan, this past weekend, who's in the zone?
Well, it'll be Garret Crochet of the Boston Red Sox. We love the Red Sox here, big Alex Cora fans. We actually were able to stay at Alex Cora's house during spring training.
All right, name dropper.
Yeah,
All right,
name
all right,
dropping.
all right.
And we actually got to meet Garret. But talk about a dude who's in the zone, and I know we got some stats here, but he just went 7 1/3 against his former team, Chicago White Sox, said, yeah, I'm going to stick it up you know, where the sun don't shine against you for getting rid of me. And he goes 7 1/3, no-hit baseball, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 earned run. I mean, that's all he needed to win the game.
But how ironic that the guy they traded him
Yes.
for breaks up the no-hitter.
Yeah, and I don't know if that maybe broke the zone for Garret. I don't know if he was thinking about it. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. And he didn't necessarily execute that last cutter. Because I think if he gets him out, I think it's a no-hitter. I think he gets the 8 innings,
I
and he goes
already
the
know
distance.
Cora was going to keep it in for the no-hitter.
Yeah.
But as soon as
Yeah.
it got broke, he's out.
Yeah, but Garrett's been in the zone. I mean, he had a challenging outing, so it was a great answer this outing. Challenging outing, the outing prior. But he's got a 1.38 ERA to start the season. And he's got a 0.88 whip right now, which is walks, hits per innings pitched. And if you're under 1, you're very good. And he's at a 0.88 to start the season. So
He's also
What's the
throwing
deal?
70% plus strikes.
yeah. And when you throw 98 from the left side with that giant leg kick that he's got, like Juan Marichal-like, he's devastating. So Garret Crochet, you're in the zone. We love you in Chicago, but being Red Sox fans, we love watching you dominate.
The Red
for them.
Sox definitely have an ace.
Crochet in the zone. Caleb, who you got?
Crochet's in the zone. I'm going to the NBA. Over this past weekend, somebody that's been flying a little bit under the radar this NBA season with just how great of an actual generational talent he is, and that is the Joker. Nikola Jokić becomes only the 3rd player in NBA history to average a triple-double over the course of a season.
You know what's nuts about that? He's a center.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
his position,
if he's a point guard,
crazy.
shooting guard, okay, I get it. But a center, he's assists. It's really okay. Rebounds, I get it. Points, I get it. Assists, triple double for a center, pretty magical.
It is 29.7 points per game, 12.7 boards a game, and 10.2 assists a game.
Here's the backstory, though. There was a lot of chaos while he was doing this in the second half. A lot of disagreement between general manager, coach, even players. A lot of people disgruntled. While Jokić is setting records, there's turmoil going on, and his coach gets fired, and his GM's gone next.
Yes.
And he's still at the top of his game.
He is. And it's been, I think, a little bit undervalued just because of SGA. He's the MVP frontrunner from most odds right now. With the Thunder's record and just his points per game, he's been putting up and assists. Magical year by SGA. Probably going to get the MVP. But Jokić, and the funniest thing was...
Murray helps Jokić. Murray's not even playing. He just started playing. He's been injured. So he's doing all this with no help.
It is. It's been very impressive. And the greatest thing from this is in the interview afterwards, a lady asked Nikolai if he was actually aware of what just happened. Like, do you realize you just averaged a triple-double in the NBA over the course of the entire season? His response was, it's nice. I didn't do that before. It was good. That's his response.
That was it.
Nonchalant. Just like, yeah, it's whatever. That's the purposeful calm that you were talking about earlier,
What
Jim.
time is it?
Just effortless. And that's one thing that's amazing, watching him play. So smooth, so in control. It looks like he's in slow motion, efficient. But he's in slow motion, and nobody can even keep up with him. It's crazy to watch him play and how good of a talent he
He's
is.
7-foot Larry Bird.
Yes.
He doesn't let anything affect him, the GM, the coach getting fired, and not having Murray the whole time. He was like, we're good.
Well,
and he just has a sense of expectancy to win a basketball game.
Let's run Jokić right now through the score system. Do you think he's disciplined in what he does? 100%.
100%.
How about focus? You can feel him. It's palpable.
Yes.
Confidence? Come on.
Absolutely.
He's got a sense of knowing.
Like we said.
Not believing.
Yes.
No,
knowing.
he knows.
Relaxed? He's the coolest
drink of water,
cat.
too.
And enjoyment? He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves
He
what
loves
he does.
basketball.
He does what he loves.
And he really is a present tense player because you'll see him in the off season. He's riding the little ponies over in Serbia and just partying, having a great time. He is so present tense. When he's in basketball, he's basketball, but he can turn that off and just be his best self outside of that. It's great to watch him.
Yeah, it is great to see it.
Jim, who's in the zone for you?
I've got Rory in the zone and not in the zone multiple times during the round. You typically don't see the zone state, non-zone state, zone state, non-zone state, zone state, non-zone state, and then the guy turns out and wins it. So I'm giving him his props. And did you hear that guttural scream? This was a decade of frustration, impatience. I mean, all those nights when he had failed and he had to go to bed and think about it, replayed it. And then he just broke down and wept.
And
you cried.
You two were crying.
We were on a three-way call, and right now we're teared up.
For those listening, me and Jim, we're a little bit crybabies. When somebody gets something that they've worked their whole life for, it's like it's hard to not get choked up about it. And when you see Rory, just the pure raw emotion in front of millions of people, And then, when he saw his wife and his kid and he's holding him, I'm like texting Jim, like, are you crying right now too? He's like, yeah, I'm bawling my eyes out.
What we witnessed yesterday, Masters Sunday, is you got to watch this guy under a therapy session. He was actually having therapy, open to the world. Watch me go through therapy here, up and down, up and down. But the bottom line, money on the table, very end. You deserve the Grand Slam.
He did.
So Rory in the zone and not in the zone for you, Jim. Caleb, who's not in the zone for you?
So this
I know we have the same one.
We do. This is an interesting story to talk about. Just broke over the weekend. We're going down to Knoxville, the Tennessee Volunteers football program. As we saw with Nico, redshirt freshman quarterback, a little bit of push and pull with them, Josh Heupel, but is it Nico who's not in the zone? Is it the Volunteers who's not in the zone?
We believe it's neither of them.
It's the NCAA for allowing this to happen and this platform to open up with NIL, with the transfer portal. So Nico, unbeknownst to a lot of people on the team, they were negotiating with his agent around $4 million is what he was seeking for
This
this.
is a college student making $4 million.
With what the NCAA has done, Nico has every right to try to get every penny that he believes he deserves. And Tennessee has every right to say, we're not going to pay you that. Yes. But this is all, everyone's mad at Nico. People are mad at Tennessee. No. This is the NCAA's fault.
For allowing
this is their fault for allowing this to happen and not have guidelines on specifically, are there limitations or we just pay anyone anything? How does the money come in? How does it go out? We just paid this guy $4 million? It's crazy.
I've seen this whole thing for a half a century when my good friend from my hometown, Jim Host, did the first marketing agreement for the NCAA to sports marketing, bring in some big money to amateur sports. I saw it from the very beginning, and they have stepped on their foot, the NCAA, year after year after year. Right now, we don't have amateur sports. NCAA is a professional minor league sports league.
Minor league baseball and the G League. The college football is that for the NFL. It's extremely unfortunate.
You got quarterbacks
more lucrative.
Well, and that's why some players go, I think I'll just stay at college. Why? I'm making $3 million,
more money.
And I love it here, and I can handle it here.
College is so much easier. You got
golfers making 50, 60 grand. Yeah. You've got swimmers making 25, 30 grand. You got quarterbacks making $4 million.
Making $4 million.
It's amazing.
And I do think there's ability to point fingers on both sides. Nico did not show up during spring training camp. They just had their spring game on Saturday. Nico wasn't showing up at practices last week.
We haven't seen this in the pros.
I was going to say,
this is a
yearly occurrence.
This is an everyday occurrence in
professional sports. Everybody holding out of their contracts, wanting more money. But I will give props to Josh Heupel with Tennessee because he came out blatantly after their spring game on Saturday and said, no one is bigger than the program, and we are moving on. And that takes some courage. He knows this.
Yeah.
Tennessee is a tradition.
Good
It's
for
been
him.
around a long time, and he said no one's bigger than the Brogues.
He's sticking to his beliefs. He's adhering to, this is what I do as a coach. This is how I want to raise my student athletes. But he said something else. He said, this program will be here when I leave and when you leave. It'll be here long after we're even gone from this world. So no one's bigger than the Tennessee Volunteers.
Great quote.
I love
it.
it. So
Now let's turn the show now to you. To you watching. To you listening. Are you in the zone? Because right now, we're going to the ZoneCafé. And it's your time right now to order anything you want. For example, we only have 5 things we're cooking. You're in your car of life, use your imagination, and you're pulling up to a drive-up where you can buy 1 of 5 things. Only one. You can come back tomorrow and order something else. Here's what you can order. And I want to see what will help you be the best you can be. You can order a giant slab of self-discipline. Now you've got the commitment, the willingness, you got tasks, routines, well-defined goals, a vision that pulls you out of bed, tucks you in at night. Do you need that? Do you need that discipline, that blueprint on how to go wherever you want to go? If you do, take it. Take it right now. But maybe you have some discipline. Maybe you need some concentration. Maybe got a big bowl of concentration. I'd like to be able to hold my focus. Get off TikTok. Come on. Get your focus. Hold it. Stretch it like a rubber band. If you need to focus better, order some concentration. Drive away. Put a big smile on your face. But maybe you're disciplined. Maybe you have that focus. But do you need some optimism? Oh, we got a big bag of optimism. And once you have that, you're not just going to believe you can do it. You're not going to expect you can do it. With a big bag of optimism, you know you can do it. Would you like to have that feeling of knowing what you can do? If that's what you need, drive away. But maybe you got all that. Maybe you need a cool, calm drink of relaxation. One sip. I'm the smoothest, most efficient, coolest cat on the planet. Do you need to be calm and cool when the money's on the table? Do you need a big drink of relaxation? But maybe you need some pep in your step. Maybe you need our Happy Meal, because you can order that next. The Happy Meal of enjoyment. And that means you're even loving the challenge of the moment. Rory, looking back on the Masters, he's going to say, I loved it. I loved all that. It was exciting. So what do you need? Do you need self-discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, or enjoyment? What's your weakest link? And if you really want to take a deep dive, I'm talking about a dive like a world champion. Click below. Go to our video wall, and you're going to be able to take an assessment to see if you think like a champion, and it's going to give you near instant report results, and more importantly, it's going to tell you your missing link.
Yeah, that link's right in our description, right below this video. So go ahead and take it. It's brutal, right, Jim?
And these assessments are based on the best mindset in the world in that genre and niche. So if you're taking a hitter's assessment, it's based on silver slugger hitters, home run hitters, batting champions. But you can also take the parenting one, the entrepreneurial one, the leadership one. We've got almost 30 assessments. And here's the other thing. No one's ever seen this. This has been for my clients only for 20 years. We're right now, first time, opening this up to the public. Go take it a ride and see what the missing link in your life and in your sport, whether it's life, business, or sports, whatever it is, you'll find your missing link. So we've had a week since our last show. You've had, I don't know how many consultations. You have them, it seems like every hour you're having them. What's been the missing link of the majority of your clients in the last week?
Yeah, well, I want to hop a ride on this pressure conversation because, like we said, what is pressure? How do we handle it? And a lot of our clients feel that pressure, that their expectations aren't meeting reality, and it's not happening fast enough. It's not happening fast enough.
Say that again, real slow.
My expectations aren't meeting my reality.
How many of you are having this right now? I expect to do this. I expect to make money. I expect to make this shot. I expect to make this putt. And then I don't. How do you handle it then?
And so
what's your advice?
So that's what's been happening, and I immediately go to self-discipline. First off, what are my expectations? Or am I kind of a little bit aloof? Are they too lofty based on my discipline? Do I have goals that I'm actually going after? But it really comes down to when...
Or are they measurable?
Exactly. Are they measurable? But for me, with the clients this week, what it's really come down to has been, are you sticking to the basics of your craft? And I think we talked about this last week, but it's so prominent right now. It's so prominent, those constants that you have in your life. And I'm not just talking about, do you go out there and do you hit the ball down the fairway every single time? Do you make that 3-foot putt? I'm talking about you make your bed in the morning. I'm talking about, are you hydrating? If you have constants, you have consistency in your life. Now you can be reliable. So in a sport like basketball, for example, if you don't know exactly where your hot zones are and you're not disciplined in knowing where that is and you're not consistently shooting from there and you're just kind of all over the place, I'm just going to shoot the ball whenever, which is one of my consultations, well, then how can you expect to be consistent when you're not working on that and you don't know, well, that's where my hot zone is. And we talked about that with Ovechkin last week.
Yep.
He's going to that part of the ice every single time, that left part of the ice.
Well, the best in the world deal from strength. Their strengths got them in the game, and honing those strengths, sharpening those strengths, took them to even another level.
So it's that self-discipline. Define what you want, define your goals, define what your vision is, make them measurable so it's not I just want to be the best basketball player I can be. I don't know what that means.
And,
what does
and
that
a
mean?
little side tip, if you write them down, you'll execute them. This is in our research. We have 2 different researches projects on this subject. You write your goal down, you'll achieve it 43% more than if you didn't write it down. Write it down. Mom was right.
Absolutely. And
How about you?
And kind of in that same vein, we love saying, what do individuals do when expectations don't meet reality? So for all the listeners out there, all of our Zoniacs who are tuned in, I have a tool that you can use in real time. This is called the replacement tool. This tool is going to enact with self-discipline, but it's going to help you enhance your concentration. You know what to focus on. It's going to increase your own belief. So you're taking that negative that you may be replaying on a loop, taking that away, replacing it with a positive image, a positive aspiration of your goal, your vision, your dream. Increase the relaxation and enjoyment.
How long is that replacement?
This takes 5 seconds. It is a snapshot image. So for
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. An image, you will have seen it, and that will replace the negative image of you failing.
that you don't want. Exactly.
Don't you think you better practice this, don't you think?
You got to practice that over and over and over. It is constant repetition. So for all listeners, whether you be a basketball player, whether you're a golfer, whether you're a parent, whether you're a student, I'm going to ask you this one time, but shut your eyes, please, and see a negative in your mind. Maybe a challenge that you've been ruminating over the past week. Maybe it's a missed opportunity on the 18th hole. Maybe you failed a test. Parents, maybe you had a hard conversation with one of your children and it didn't end the way that you wanted. I want you to see that negative situation in your mind, but now replace it immediately with the solution. Replace it with a positive image that's pulling you towards your vision, your goals. Replace that negative that you've had on a loop with something positive that is going to refocus your concentration, that is going to reinstill your belief, help you be calm and cool on your pursuit to excellence and whatever that may be in your life.
This applies to absolutely anything. Let's say you're married and you're having disagreements on a vision of where you want to live or where you want to move, whatever it is, or how you're going to parent a kid. You're not happy. I still love you. I just don't like what's going on right now. When you get into those kind of little tiffs with a significant other, right in the middle of the heat of it, shut your eyes and love conquers all. See what you want. I want my wife and I to hug each other and move forward. You have to see what you want in those situations. That's why that replacement tool is so powerful. But if you don't have it in your pocket, ready, because you're going to get ambushed. Nobody wants to get in these situations. We have expectations very high. And boom, that can be ripped out of us quickly. You replace it, it puts you in a different mindset, you'll stay in a zone, and off you go to a better performance in whatever arena you're in. I like that. That's a great, great tool, the replacement tool. This show is for individuals and groups to manage self-discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, and enjoyment. These 5 markers, SCORE, trigger natural biochemistry. You don't like how you feel? Change your self-discipline level. Change your concentration level. Optimism, relaxation, or enjoyment level. Think you're nervous? Go to your relaxation level and lower your breathing. You're not having a good time? Put a smile on your face. We have hundreds of tools.
We're the Home Depot for mental skills over here. We really are.
The Home Depot of cognitive behavioral tools, and we've been doing this for a half a century. We're excited to help you. Bring your challenges, not your problems. Bring your challenges. We'll help you find a solution. And if you're looking for an edge on the competition to really level up, and just click our website in the description.
Zoniacs, also do not forget to subscribe to the page. You want to be notified every week when we have new episodes coming out so you can stay in the loop of that peak performance mindset.
Yeah, you want to know who's in the zone, right? I want to know who's not in the zone too. But we offer such a different take than a Stephen A. Smith, than just normal ESPN, because we're going under the hood into the mindset of these players, these teams, and that's why I love being on this show. That's why I love doing what I do, because nobody's thinking like this.
Well, I don't watch pro sports or amateur sports like everybody else. I just don't. I'm looking at score levels, low O, low R, low E. Here's what I would do. And so this is based on one premise. Everybody watching, everybody listening, you have at any given time a high or low level of self-discipline. It will fluctuate. It can fluctuate 20, 30 times in one day. At any given time, you can have high concentration, and just like that, now you're not focused at all. At any given time, you can be supremely confident. But all of a sudden, a little pebble of doubt, that'll hobble even the greatest performer. But you might be calm and cool right now, but something pops up and takes you into a low relaxation level. Now you can freak out. All of these are up to you. You manage SCOR, and the last one, enjoyment. It's all about enjoying the journey. You can manage those 5 markers in your life, and you can influence those 5 markers in your student athletes, your significant other, your son or daughter, or a coworker. The zone, that's the only place to be. And Zoniacs, be in the zone. And we'll see you next week.